Done by him. So now we get a battle of the AD carries. So the bot laners is Uzi versus Bang. And I mean, 2 years ago, these were like the two players on the top of their roles in the world, undisputed, right? It was Uzi and Bang. And they're still incredible players, but there's been overtaking, right? You've had two LPL champions that weren't Uzi at the helm. And it's like, you're still an amazing player. But like as the league moves on and as players get better,
they did win MSI.
Yeah, I mean, again, incredible players. Bang's got 2 world championships still. Like you can't discount that stuff.
We actually
but it's interesting to note.
Yeah, it is. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, kind of in the caster room. And Bang is probably, if you're just looking at straight up achievements, still probably the most successful AD carry of all time.
Yes.
Right? You know, the LCK championships, I believe he won MSI, he won 2 world championships. And then Uzi on the other side is the guy that most people would look at as the highest level performance of all time.
Maybe the best AD carry of all time.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
You know, doesn't have as many achievements, but when you look at his individual performances over the years, he's been so incredibly dominant, so famous for his laning phase. You know, people always giving credit to how difficult it is to actually play against this guy in lane. And we are getting to see Varus, which was a real popular pick in the previous format, you know, because Varus could have pressure, could CS well, could pressure the turret.
Yep.
And, you know, I'll be interested to see how Uzi can actually play this out. I don't know how comfortable Bang is on the Yasuo, but Yasuo bot is not something that is that rare these days, so I would assume Bang has a fair bit of comfort on the pick. And, you know, if it goes later on, I think it's going to be pretty damn hard for Uzi, you know, in a full-on all-in, in a small space where you also have to deal with win wall. But that being said, Uzi is so great at punishing, so maybe he can create enough of an advantage or just close out the game before it even gets there.
The one nice thing for Varus is the Q is so fast that you can usually get it out before your opponent, no matter how good you are, can win wall on reflex.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, the E can be done, the R can be done. Like that's not that hard to do when you're a player of Bang's level. But the actual piercing arrow, you can actually land that fairly reliably in short range fights.
Yeah, that is very true. But even just when players are kind of almost like self-win-walling and playing back and forth through it, that can be really, really difficult, you know, as we've all seen those players do in jungle corridors. And the Ring of Fire is kind of creating a pseudo little corridor because you're kind of stuck in this small space where win wall is going to be very, very effective. Bang, though, getting poked down, bullied out, as we are expecting in this range versus melee matchup. And honestly, as we're expecting from Uzi, this guy is just so good at pressing advantages and so good at punishing any little mistake from his opponents in laning phase.
Sadly missed the cannon, but not the end of the world. He's still got way better CS. A lot of that wave's going to get lost. Well, maybe the cannon gets lost. He'll get XP, but probably not gold here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Oh, they both missed cannon.
I wouldn't have blamed him if he flashed for it.
I actually think it would have been correct to.
As funny as it is, it's like a kill of gold when you're down.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I would flash for 200 gold every time.
Yeah, unless you think that Uzi can actually kill you during that kind of disadvantage.
I'll bet you Uzi wasn't watching at that point in time. He was like
I'm
shopping
not gonna bet
for
on that. This is a really good player.
I'm just saying it was as he recalled, you know? There's a chance he was grabbing the cutlass.
Uzi sees all.
He just has the senses, you know?
Exactly. He's got the 5-head. He can see everything.
All right.
He's got the map downloaded.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
He just plays so zoomed out that it's just the entire Rifted every time.
Just has like a tiny speck on the map.
Yeah. That's what players are to him, are just tiny specks. Like, they're not even humans. It's Uzi and just little specks.
Pieces of sand
at
his feet.
And they're coarse. They get everywhere. He hates them.
All right. Well, we'll see if Uzi can continue to bully this. Working towards the Blade of the Rune King. It is going to be Zerkers as the start for Bang. I do think, you know, going for something like Zerkers plus PD is going to be a pretty damn nice little set of items. And that shouldn't be that hard to get here for Bang as long as he can pick up a decent amount of farm, get most of the cannons. He should be able to work towards that sort of a completed set, which I think is going to be pretty damn effective for a potential all-in 1v1.
Definitely agree. I think PD is a really, really good item in this overall map.
The shield is just great, right?
Yeah.
And we all know how much Yasuo loves the stats on that item anyway, so.
Yep. I think it's good, by the way, that Varus is not going Rage Blade. This is not the game state where you really get the time to stack it up. I'm glad we haven't seen any of that. We've seen a few marksmen, but none of them have been going for that item, which is good. Little knock-up lands right there. The CS getting a bit closer. Within 10 is not too bad, and the wave's fairly close to equal.
I mean, this is something we have also kind of talked about and heard some pros talk about, is the fact that You know, the worst parts of the range versus melee matchups and these marksman matchups is actually the first couple levels, right? And people start at level 3 now, so you're skipping the whole 1 to 3 basically entirely, and there's more experience injected in. So we're a couple minutes in, and it's a level 9 Yasuo, which all of a sudden is very scary. So you don't just get the ability now as Uzi to kind of just step up in his face and auto attack, right?
Yep.
Like, he can actually just go in on you and mess you up if you're not careful.
And
so.
Bang has landed like 5 knockups in a row. Like he's actually landed 5 straight tornadoes. Everyone's aimed at Uzi is hitting. Now, when the all-ins actually happen during the Ring of Fire, he'll probably flash that, but we're going to see, you know, the tornado flash game, right? EQ flash, and Uzi may or may not flash that.
Yeah, especially if you're able to kind of do it a little bit tricky. You know, you maybe dash out from the bush with the EQ and then flash it on top of him.
Yeah.
Those sorts of plays are possible. But Bang looking like he's in a pretty damn good spot now. Blade of the Ring King was completed, so this is a strong point here for Uzi because you know he didn't go for boots. He's going to have a lot of combat stats right now. We'll see how much gold Bang has in his pocket, if he can get towards that full PD or if it's just going to be pieces. Only 300 gold down now, so honestly not too bad. And when we get a look at that buy, we'll get a better idea of how close.
Yep.
So full PD,
PD Doran.
This is great. Bang is honestly in a really strong spot, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and he should have time, I believe, to clear 1 or 2 more waves, buy another Cloak of Agility for 50 more crit chance, and then say, okay, I'm 100% crit Yasuo, let's do the last fight.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, you can get to that 100% crit mark so much more easily now with Yasuo's passive doubling the crit. The new crit cloak item gives you 25%, so
yeah, they just got more efficient.
Makes 100.
It was a straight buff, so it's very, very, very good. Another knockup lands. He's just not going for the all-in, right? He's only playing for the sudden death 1v1. He's down some CS, and if Uzi wasn't going to recall, you could greed this wave out, but because Bang's supposed to recall, Uzi can greed the wave out. Get a slightly heftier recall. Okay, couldn't afford the cloak, so I like this. Right, get the red elixir.
Yeah, if you can't afford the cloak, the red elixir is definitely going to be
Uzi should
more
back.
effective. Uzi's going to get a turret play. Is he going to go for 2 and then base?
I don't know if he has time to.
Bang could potentially stop your recall.
Yeah, I think Uzi
How much
is
gold
not
does
getting
Uzi have?
900.
Probably a lot.
Maybe over 1,000.
I feel like you're going to be your items are so much more efficient on the side of Bang now.
Yeah,
he did take a bad trade there.
He did it for plates when he couldn't recall. It's definitely a misplay.
Yeah, because he killed a full wave with a cannon, plus got 2 plates.
What if he wins on turret?
Recall.
Because he's stuck on a turret here and he autos it 18 times. I don't think it's going to happen, but like, what if?
Bang will look for the all-in, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's no way you just let him auto your turret to death. You will 1v1 and lose before that'll happen.
Yeah.
But wind wall down, tornado down. So this is an opening potentially here. 20 seconds on the wind wall cooldown. So Uzi, if you're going to go for it, you got to go now.
There's the ult. He can't get away from it. Look at the damage up, but how do you win this? Uzi waits out the wind wall, lands the point blank ult, doesn't get dodged, and Uzi takes down the Yasuo.
Yeah, Bang unable to flash that. The wind wall was down. The tornado was missed. Bang didn't find that opportunity, and despite the fact that Uzi had a lot of gold in his pocket, he finds the way to win it. And Uzi looking good, moving on. I was thinking that could have been pretty Bang favored when we came to the potential 1v1.
Yep.
He could have found the ult. He had the elixir. He had everything available, good to go. But as soon as that wind wall got used, Uzi knows there's an opening here. So he just walks past the mini wave. Bang tries to step up, but I mean, that is a point blank ultimate, sidesteps the Q, and you just get roasted 100 to 0 pretty much during that ultimate. That was perfectly played by Uzi, and Bang, one small mistake really cost him the entire game here. It's just as soon as that wind wall is down, you can see he's stacking the passive.
Colors for the slow means he can't, you know, walk to dodge anymore. It had to be predictive flash. At that range, it's got to be a pretty much predictive flash. It's hard to tell the ult animation from the auto attack animation.
And I mean, he even maximized his damage efficiency. He actually procced his pressy attack before ulting and using the Blade Rune King, Ignite, all these things, right? So he really maximized damage there. To make that look pretty easy, and believe me, I don't think that's an easy 1v1 to win, especially from the stage that they were at and the items that they were sitting with. But Uzi made it look easy, and that is something that he has been doing for many, many years in League of Legends. The
made it look easy.
Is just too good.
And it's nowhere close to that easy. Even the beginning of that fight, at the very, very beginning, sidesteps the wind wall. Right? Or sidesteps the tornado cast through the wind wall. Right? Bang was trying to hide the animation by sort of queuing through the wind wall, and you know, like, oh, don't worry, it's just offensive. Ha! And just off to the side, perpendicular, no knockup. Because if he hits that, I think that's you all in. Right? PD's done. There's no more buys. You have the red elixir. that would have been Yasuo into melee range fight, and that's a whole lot harder to deal with. He's dodging through you. You can't get to the ult lands. That fight's very different. That sidestep made it look easy.
It really did, and all the little things there. Even having the presence of mind to make sure to step back. During the ultimate, even when he's rooted, to make sure you can't actually get queued. You're not too close to melee range. Uzi did it all perfectly, and that's the performance we expect.
Good job, Uzi. Let's head back to the State Farm Analyst Lounge, where Golden Glue joins Dash and Kobe for a breakdown of the 1v1s.
Thank you very much, gents. That's right. Golden Glue is joining us to break down some more incredible 1v1s. I am absolutely loving these rule changes and how much action it is forcing.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I mean, I'm used to like watching zillions with no items, like farm to 100 CS, and now we're just watching like these bloody battles with this giant like ring of fire circling them. So it's been really fun watching this All-Stars event.
And we've had a whole host of different champions coming out, and you can kind of see maybe there's a bit of a trend or a meta developing. I'm loving the elixirs that are now starting to come in as people see the sudden death timer ticking down. But in general, just a lot of ingenuity here, and continues to develop over the days.
I really like some of the diversity that we're seeing, right? Snowball is a useful summoner spell here, especially because
here it was a hugely useful
This is actually
spell.
probably the best case that we've seen, because you can use it. He reveals the Akali in the Shroud, use it for the gap closer as well. It's really given a lot more power to the Bruiser champions this time around.
Yeah, we're actually not seeing as much Snowball as I would think. And this was such an insane upset by Fofo. He played it really well, and the whole game was really close, and it just came down to Tristan in the 1v1. This one didn't. This game didn't really seem super fair.
The Tom Kench was an interesting pick, to say the least.
The funniest part in the Shy's matches have been his facial expressions. He's like taking his hands off the keyboard. Oh man!
Half the times he's like scratching. Oh, this was super interesting.
We've been hearing kind of rumblings behind the scenes of the Skarner, and it might be a sleeper OP. It comes out, gets the early kill at level 3, and then the second one to finish it off here at the end.
Yeah, that early kill was really exciting, and at this point, it just seems like it kind of ran him over.
Yeah, if you can stack Conqueror quickly, then use that Bruiser champion. Skarner and Olaf both get to do that.
All right, Olaf Feetkled. Unfortunately, Pabu does get knocked out of the tournament. Did check Twitter, though. He says he forgot to change his summoner spells, which is why
I was about to say.
Flash.
Okay, I was about to say, like, I really didn't like the Snowball flash choice. I thought he was trolling from that, but that was obviously just a mistake from him.
But Bwipo does move on to represent EU. Move right along to Doingby versus Fofo. This was a big one here.
Woo!
Oh, it was close for the world champion.
What a clean Irelia.
But the Irelia comes through.
This was a little sad. The first fight was really close, but then Darius with 5 stacks with his bleed on, it's just really hard to duel when he's doing so much true damage, and can't really get away from him once he's this far ahead and has Black Cleaver. Not much you can do.
Versus Bramble Best is rough.
Yeah, I think Caps did a really good job keeping distance too, using Darius's slow and pull.
That's our defending 1v1 world champion. That's moving on to the semifinals. Uzi, though, taking on Bang. The Varus versus Yasuo matchup. We heard Azael say it. He felt like maybe when you get down to the 1v1 in sudden death, it could be Yasuo favored, but Uzi finds the moment.
Look at that. Bang doesn't even touch Uzi. Literally doesn't even get to touch him. That's cool to watch.
It was that was painful because he just hits him with the slow from Bork and then lands the ultimate there. No flash from Bang coming out.
This brings up an important question, because I know that you were talking to us before we went on air that you were warming up some of the guys in the 1v1s, but in getting asked for maybe some opinions on which champion should be played, it's not necessarily a question of what's the best champion in the 1v1. Sometimes it's what are you the best at?
Yeah, exactly. When you're going versus all these, I mean, these are all like world-class players, right? You're not just going to first time a new champion and be able to do well. You need to be able to express your skill, be practiced on a champion, know like what the outplay potential is.
That's why the junglers are always the underdogs here.
They are.
Now Olaf is rising to the top, so like we got some jungle champions to give these guys a chance here. See Yankos, Levi moving on through.
You just got to look at the bracket. I wonder if we can pull that up once again to take another look at how this tournament is developing, because there are some really interesting matchups that are forming just ahead of us. The one that jumps out in particular to me is Caps and Uzi on the bottom half of the bracket there. Again, Uzi's the only 2-time 1v1 winner in All-Star history. He did it 2 years in a row. Caps is on the verge of doing it again. So they run into each other here in the quarterfinals. It's going to be an interesting one to say the least.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool to watch, because Uzi is like obviously one of the most insane AD carry players mechanically. the most mechanical abilities, and Caps really just plays so much different things.
Right.
What is Caps going to pull out? Like, you know what Uzi's going to pull out. He's going to pull out some AD carry. What is Cap's strategy going to be to counteract that?
He had the Heimer just yesterday.
Yeah.
Today he has the Darius. Where does he go next? Of course, within that, you saw Levi still in there, Fofo still in there, Bwipo, Mickey X. Like, there's a lot of really interesting players that, you know, maybe weren't seen in years past that are still in the run for it.
Yeah, I mean, we have the clash of Uzi and Caps on the bottom side. On the top side, the Shy is up there, and he's just been cruising through. So I feel like whichever one wins the Uzi Caps clash might be
facing the
for,
side or the Shy there in the end of it all. Okay, so now I come back to you, Golden Glue, since you have had a little bit of experience with the, you know, the setup in terms of going through the Champion Select itself. I know that there's been some adjustments made. How do you feel, or how would you maybe attack these next couple rounds in terms of champion that you pick and strategy going into it?
So you basically should look at what the your opponent most recently banned. So that's really important to see, like, that's what that player is afraid of, and that's not what he doesn't want to play against. And then you have to very much think about what you want to ban and what you think he's going to pick with your bans. And it's a lot about mind games, you know, like, because you're blind picking both your champions, right? Sometimes you can straight up lose from the champion pick. So I'm imagining they're probably going to try to pick something that's safe, something they're comfortable on, and it'll be good versus multiple matchups. But for each player, it's different, right? So Uzi's safeness is an AD carry, right? Where Bwipo, you know, he wants to pick Olaf, he wants to pick some kind of bruiser.
Now, there's one pick that we've already seen, but I think both of us are aligned that we'd like to see it again and maybe use to a little bit more success, and that's Poppy.
Yes. Yes. I want to see the Poppy.
Yes.
I want to see someone just get, like, shot out of the ring of fire.
That pick only gives you the one moment at the very end, though.
But it is the best highlight moment you could absolutely ask for. Golden Glue, thank you so much for helping us out to break down some of these 1v1s. We're going to step away before we jump into our next TFT match, but let's tune into this edition of Mic Check, which recaps the day one action. Take a look.
So usually I go lethal tempo on Ivern. Should I not do that this game?
Let's do lane caps. All right, great.
So if you go Lee, should I go something? What's good with Lee?
Oh, Akali, I will go Akali, I think. Oh, Akali's great. So we fight level 1?
Hell yeah.
They will face it, They are?
Oh.
Oh, here, here. Yeah. Oh, oh no. No. Help him. Oh, no. Oh. I got it.
Nice, Caps. Oh my god, Caps, so good.
Good job, man.
Good job, guys.
You know how I play, man. Never seen me play solo queue before? Sorry to do you like this, but I finished my item, so. I finished my adaptive helm, so I don't think you're gonna have much fun anymore. Okay, I didn't see what happened, but by the fan reactions and your reaction, I assume you just used the ult, didn't you? Oh, that's not good news, my friend!
I kind of want to keep Soraka in over Johan. Well, Johan just keeps dying.
Becca, as an entertainer, you gotta go 8 out of 9.
I'm here for the win, dude.
No. You're gonna win, but it's way better to win in style. Sayujana.
I have no
Becca,
style.
Sayujana. Trust me. Everyone's gonna remember this as the ultimate BM. Oh god.
No, I'm scared, no.
Okay, and use your item.
Use your item on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, that flex!
What the?
That flex!
Is this super beyond? Okay, you told me to do it.
You're gonna win. There's no way you can lose
No.
Yep, here comes the Skarner slowly walking up.
Sad face.
Good Skarner.
All right, so usually I go lethal tempo on Ivern. Should I not do that this game? Okay. What is this?
He's a flash.
No blast code!
He's dead.
Let's kill him.
He's dead. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Oh,
Nice.
Whoa! Hey!
Listen, guys. Nice, guys. Good job.
Yeah, kill him too. Kill him.
Oh, get him. Good job.
Let's go, dude.
Good shit.
Dude, we got Ocean Dragon, Rengar, Ivern. This is you, sneaky.
God.
It's actually perfect, yeah.
Perfect map.
This is actually you.
I got a really big ult, Okay, let's go.
Nice.
Let's go first. You want to PN them or what? Yeah.
Minions though.
My turret might kill it. Nexus. One hit. No, let me kill it.
Caps control. Cap.
Oh, well, that wasn't good.
GG.